Hey, welcome to Create with Christina. Today we are going to make a super simple, super cute spring farmhouse hanging sign. All you need is a Dollar Tree canvas. It's a 5x7. They come in packs of 2. Then this is some tissue paper. And some napkins I found with a cute Hello Spring design. And these are wood half circles. I did get those on Amazon. The twine and ribbon, that was Dollar Tree. A little bit of floral. The Mod Podge I got at Michael's. You can get Mod Podge at Dollar Tree, but I wanted the bigger size. So that's what we're going to start with. We're just going to put a pretty generous amount on this canvas. Put a pretty good couple layers on there, kind of crisscross the pattern. And then take that tissue paper, and you could, of course, trace it to get a better idea of exactly how much you need. I was just kind of eyeballing it, but this part you really want to go slow, lay it down very slow. I usually start at the one edge and then kind of press down and out. You want to try to get as few air bubbles as possible. Tissue paper is very thin, so you will get air pockets no matter what, but you don't want to tear it. So I just kind of took some of that soft nautical rope I had handy, and I'm just using it to kind of smooth that out. Even though this is sped up, I am going very slow and I'm being very cautious. And then if you have a sanding block, you can take that and kind of use that to sand and cut the edges to get it to fit on there just right. You could also just take the scissors and kind of retrim it, but I wanted it to fit on there really good and didn't want these edges to come up, so I'm just kind of smoothing all of that out, getting it stuck down pretty well. And then one more little layer of Mod Podge. You don't want to do it too soon or too thick. Again, you don't want to tear the paper, so I just did one more layer right then, and then I let it dry and did one more little thin layer. I'm going to take this napkin. It's kind of a 2-ply, and it comes right apart, and you just want to rip that 2-ply apart. And you're left with just a plain part of the napkin, and then the napkin that has the design, so it's super thin, again, pretty much like tissue paper. And I'm just using the Hello Spring on this one. You could, of course, add some flowers from the napkin. Again, we're just going to be really careful, lay that down, just using that soft rope to kind of blot and smooth. And then I'm just going over it very lightly with a little bit of Mod Podge. And I really want that to dry pretty well before I do anything else to it. And then that one final layer of Mod Podge. So it's probably a good, 3 to 4 layers. You try to let it dry pretty decently in between. Then I'm going to take some of that twine string from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to wrap this around the bottom a few times, probably about 6 times. Just giving it a little extra kind of farmhouse detail. And those napkins, I really like those. They're versatile because, they come in a pack of, I think like 15 or 20. And they have like 4 of those happy spring patterns that you could use in Mod Podge onto something. So potentially, you can make a lot of projects with this stuff. Now, I wasn't sure if I was going to paint these little wood half circles or not, but they kind of they stood out a little bit. They didn't look right as is, so I did take a little brown paint that I had mixed before. I'm just kind of roughly painting that on, and I'm actually kind of using the edge of the paintbrush to kind of scrape some of the brown off as I'm painting it so it looks a little more rustic and worn. I kind of want it to look that way. I don't want it to be perfect. And then I'm just taking hot glue and I'm putting one on each corner. It just gives it that extra little texture and raised detail. Looking super cute. I'm just going to make a really simple bow. This is just kind of almost like tying a shoe. You take one loop and, wrap around the other and just kind of come up underneath and pull that other loop through. Just kind of trim this down a little bit. And I put a little, one of those white flowers from the Dollar Tree floral insert, and they just pop right off. You can just pull them right off the stem. I use that and then put the bow on top of that. And then I'm just making another little white bow for the bottom, just a simple white ribbon again from Dollar Tree. So this is mostly Dollar Tree stuff, aside from the couple little embellishments, the wood circles, and the big Mod Podge. I'm just taking that same twine string, and I'm taking a very generous amount of hot glue, and I'm using that to stick it down. I kind of go in a zigzag pattern, so it kind of really seals it, and it'll be sturdy enough to hang. I was testing it out and kind of playing with it here on my finger, twirling it around, and yeah, it's sturdy. It's super cute. A lot of the decor in my house is blue, like in my bathroom, so that's where I actually ended up putting it. Love, love it. 45 minutes, super cheap, super easy, and very, very cute. I hope you like it. Thanks for watching.